Hi there, Lloyd Machedo. Speaking to you from LloydMachedo.com. Who is Lloyd Machedo and Think Personal Branding? Today, I got one of my clients, a close friend of mine, who kind of gave me a call from Dubai. And he was sharing with me his frustration at the workplace because what exactly happened was he signed up with this company. They gave him a couple of promises. They told him this is what your job profile is going to be like. This is the reporting structure. This is the hierarchy. And this is the package you're going to get. However, after joining, after he signed the dotted line, he found out that they are not actually keeping their end of the bargain. He's supposed to work extra hours without being paid for. He is being called for work during his off days. They are putting unnecessary pressure on him. He's asked to report, give reports of what is happening, even travel. He was told that he would be compensated for long distance travel, and now he has to go to certain sites, and there is no proper management. There is no, number of employees under him to execute the task are not there. Now, I listened to what he had to say. But then, I kind of made him aware of one reality. See, the problem with working in the Middle East is anyone can promise you anything. They can promise you the sun, moon, and the stars. They can verbally tell you anything that they want. That you're going to work 5 days a week. You're going to work 8 hours a day. Your targets will not be increased. However, once you sign the dotted line, there is very little or nothing you can do. Now, what you need to keep in mind is legally, there is a 6 months probation once you join any company. Okay. Depending on what you've signed with the company, depending on the terms and conditions, if within the 6 months probationary period, if either of the parties is not happy, then that is where you can exercise your clause and, decide that you don't want to continue. Let's say, for example, under normal circumstances, you join the company, you're not very happy. You can tell the person that, things are not working out. Okay. However, if you have not checked the in between the lines, the terms and conditions, you can end up with problems like they'll not pay you your salary because obviously they'll claim that you didn't start work, or you cannot prove that you are actually working for them. They can tell you that we were not happy with your service, or we didn't find you satisfactory, or you didn't contribute anything, or they can even tell you to reimburse them on their expenses for processing your visa, or let's say your travel expense or whatever. So yeah, you need to really understand what you're getting into. Okay, and keep in mind, when you're signing up with local based companies, they can twist and turn the terms and conditions, and you cannot take them to task, especially if they are giant companies. So I would tell you that right from day one, it's better you put your foot down and be very explicit about your terms of joining, or your terms and conditions. The other thing is, if you do not feel that things are working out your way, it's always best to shake hands and move on, because the longer you stick, the more frustrated you get. The other thing which I did tell my friend is, if you're feeling suffocated, if you're not happy in the job profile, don't stick around and kill yourself, because your frustrations will show. When you come to a workplace and you're not happy, whether it's politics or whether the place they're not treating you well, or you're generally dissatisfied, it shows. I'll give you a small example. When I was working for a switchgear company, I was really close friends with the CEO of the company. Now, what he wanted to do was exercise kind of control over the salespeople, and that is where he appointed me as, even though I was the marketing manager, he appointed me as a sales manager also, and told me that make sure that you are aware of what they do, where they go, they have to report to you. So I kind of made it strict that every hour they were supposed to send me a report where they are, or they were supposed to give me a call and tell me where they are. I know that this is slightly tyrannical. So most of the salespeople, they agreed. They said, okay, fine, we'll leave you a message where we are, or we'll call you from that workplace, wherever we go, because they were always out in the field and we didn't know where they were going or what they were doing. In hindsight, it's not a very good style of management. This is more like micromanaging. So, there was this new guy who joined. Let's call his name as Zia. Though he joined, and when he came to know that he is supposed to give me a call every hour and tell me where he is or give me a report, he was very uncomfortable with that. And he told me, listen, this is not the way I operate sales. You need to trust your salespeople. When we go out in the field, end of the day, we'll give you a report. And end of the month, we'll tell you how much we have accomplished or not accomplished. That's how I prefer it to be. I don't like this micromanaging style. So given that he publicly challenged my authority in that company, I told him, either take it or leave it. This is what the management wants. To which he replied, fine, this is not the way I operate. You can terminate me if you like. Now, given the fact that he had just been selected by the management or by me to work in sales, when I went to the boss, the CEO, he told me, well, listen, I don't want, headache. I don't want people rocking the boat. I don't want a guy who I just employed, who I just processed his visa, saying, I don't want I want you to just patch up with him and, somehow get this problem sorted out. So I went with him. I talked to him nicely. I said, say, listen, it's only, I'm only doing this because obviously I want to know where the sales people are going. And so we kind of patched up. However, there was that tension between us. There was a tension that he challenged the management and he didn't agree to the terms and conditions. And eventually what happened is the management, because he had challenged the management eventually, kind of put this microscopic focus on his activities and realized that, he's not a good guy. And eventually it was bye-bye. The rest of the other salespeople who are not happy with the sales system, they didn't tell us, but eventually they also got frustrated and they left. And that is where I realized micromanaging is not the way to move forward. But in hindsight, even though I'm admitting my mistake, what I'm trying to tell you is when someone's not happy, it shows on their face. It shows with the way they work. So instead of sticking around and trying to make life difficult for everyone, I suggest you take charge of your life. You, like they say, grab life by the horns. You grab the bull by the horns and face up to what is not working out and try to get a solution for it. If, you can't dance the dance, it's better you just leave and go, because end of the day, your frustration will show, your dissatisfaction will show, you're not being happy in the company or in the relationship or in the partnership, it will show. So I suggest you have a game plan, you decide things are working or not working out, and just leave amicably, because end of the day, you'll always be bound by a legal obligation and you don't want any drama, especially when you're an employee and you're trying to, start up your life. So I hope this gives you some insight into, if you're frustrated with your job, what you should do. Always remember, read in between the lines, know the terms and conditions, and understand what you're getting out of so that you don't end up in more problems than what you actually bargained for. So Lloyd from Machedo.com, who's Lloyd Machedo and Think Personal Branding, sharing with you his thoughts. Let me know your comments. I always read them. Like the video, thumbs up. Don't like it, thumbs down. This is me signing off for now. Take care.